Now that they're 2 weeks older, Nala hopes they're 2 weeks more fun. But the birds still aren't game. Nala's persistent. Maybe one day she'll turn these featherweights into friends. In the Calico Cat suburb, adventurous housecat Millie is out of the house and outward bound. So her lively 9-week-old kittens, led by rambunctious redhead Gus, want to get out and about too, and make that one more who could also do with a timely escape. Shakes retreats to his favorite jungle gym, where he's the king of this castle. Only today, it seems a certain kitten is attempting to storm the stronghold. Good thing there are defenses in place. It was a nice try, but Gus still needs to get bigger like Mom Millie before he can really compete with this canine. Coming up, Cowcat Moo meets a striking twosome. 10-week-old kittens have been treated to some new toys. But wildest wildcat Nala has no need for a pretend goldfish when she's now big enough to get even closer to the real thing. But today, to Nala's surprise, she gets a partner in mischief. Her sleepy brother Zazu, who seems to have shaken himself out of his stupor to join in the fun, even if he still sometimes drops off. But following his sister's wild lead, Zazu discovers that playtime shouldn't be missed. Turns out the feisty playmate Nala wanted was right under her nose all along. Back at the animal sanctuary, while the cow-cat kittens and adopted brother Duke play happily indoors, Moo is drawn to some noises from outdoors. In the rescue home's big backyard. Having learned the importance of friends in all shapes, sizes, and smells, Moo is off to meet the makers of these strange sounds. Here's a familiar face, Lottie the fawn, who seems to have found a new baby to mother. But this critter Moo's never seen before. Or that one. But all these critters seem to have paired off already. So it's a welcome sight when a certain skunk turns up. Moo has his mismatched mate, just like all the other happy twosomes at the sanctuary. Over in the Calico Cat suburb, Chihuahua Shakes has retreated to the kitchen. Motivated both by his stomach and a desire to ditch a certain crew of kittens. But bold Gus, of course, can't be shaken for long. And soon it's a kitten-filled kitchen. Luckily, the lapdog's pesky housemates are soon distracted by a tantalizing sight. An island in the air that looks worth exploring. Bold redhead Gus is the first to attempt to climb aboard. But it's timid Daisy who finds the nerve to make the leap of faith. All the racket brings Mom Millie to check up on her brood's mischief-making. Which gives Shakes the perfect chance to muscle in on Millie's kitty dinner for a change. But great minds think alike, and bold Gus is soon a partner in crime. And for now, at least, the dueling duo call a truce. Coming up, Duke the skunk finally meets his own kind. And Nala and Zazu make Savannah Homestead. Newfound playmates Nala and Zazu seem eager to see more of the big wide world outside. Perfect timing. They're about to embark on a bold new adventure with some brand new companions. In the beginning, these jungle kittens were more fluffy than ferocious. But as soon as she could move her legs, Wildcat Nala was on the hunt to find a livelier playmate, leaving her brother Zazu to more leisurely pursuits. But in the end, Nala discovered that her perfect playmate was closer to home than she'd thought. So it's only fitting that Nala and Zazu will go on to the same forever home, where it looks like this wildcat pair will never find life too tame. At the animal sanctuary, the cow-cat kittens are on the threshold of an exciting new adventure. Today, the kittens go off to their permanent home.
Aww.
It seems like only yesterday that the newest rescue home arrivals were 4 black and white fuzzballs. And make that one more. At first, competitive Moo could only see his adopted brother as a rival. But in the end, he realized the benefit of a different kind of buddy. Duke is still a skunk, however, and today he gets to meet someone rather special. Now Duke can spend some time learning how to be a skunk instead of a cat. As for Moo,
I think he likes you.
with his new big brother, he'll learn once and for all that siblings shouldn't square off. They should stick together. Back in the Calico's suburb, both Shakes and bold Gus have noticed some special visitors arriving. Which can only mean one thing. It's time for the kittens to meet their new families. Just 12 weeks ago, this 7-pack was a rainbow bundle of fuzz. From the start, bold Gus followed Mom Millie's lead to keep their canine housemate on his toes. While timid Daisy, once never straying far from Mom, eventually branched out. Today, their adventures continue as the kittens meet their forever families. Daisy is soon snug in a new friend's embrace. And as for Gus, he'll be staying right here with Mom Millie and, of course, a certain canine companion. Seems this unlikely pair has finally found a way to get along.
The following program is presented with described video.
Is it their eyes, their fur, or simply their moves? No matter what it is, face it, they're irresistible. It's time to catch more than just a glimpse of some of the world's wildest, freshest faces in action. Mingle with the young world residents and get to know them and their families better. Experience all the hustle and bustle of their daily lives, all while getting up close to these untamed baby animals. This adventure is taking place in some of the coldest regions on the planet. Trekking through the ice and snow to catch some hardy youngsters in action, having a blast in their frosty homes. The sun might be high in the sky, but it's all cool below. Playtime. There's a snowy wrestling match going on over here. Aside from the fun factor, playtime is very important for polar bear cubs developmentally. Playing teaches them how to interact socially, how to defend themselves, as well as helping them to grow stronger. Their mom's got some cool moves to pass on too. There's fun to be had out at sea as well, with the orcas, or killer whales. A mother and her calf are enjoying the motion of the ocean. At birth, newborns are about 2.5 meters long and weigh around 180 kilograms. That's a whole lot of baby. Orcas are the largest members of the dolphin family. And just like their smaller cousins, baby orcas often catch a ride in their mother's slipstream. This calf will frolic close to its mum until it's about 2. Speaking of frolicking, a surfside rock pool is perfect to splash around in. That seal almost got wiped out. Meanwhile, in the snow, one of those Arctic fox pups is back, having a curious sniff. Up in the branches, a young squirrel looks like it's working on its juggling skills. One nut at a time. Or maybe it's just hungry. In these steamy waters, a baby snow monkey's having a dip. And a dive with Mom. Over on the edge, this baby's not so sure. Just needs a little encouragement. It looks comfortable now. Meanwhile, a harp seal pup is playing peekaboo with its mum. And these Gentoo chicks are having a blast chasing after this adult. It's just managing to stay ahead of these cheeky babies. What a cool way to get going in the afternoon. Let's change hemispheres and have an afternoon catch-up with the polar bears. Looks like they've stepped things up from playing in the snow to taking part in a marathon. When polar bear cubs are old enough to emerge from their den, the mothers can finally have something to eat. Up until this stage, the females live off their fat stools. Getting that meal means a long walk for her and the cubs out to the sea ice. When they make it, seals are on the top of their menu. Polar bears have such a great sense of smell. They can start getting a whiff of seals about 1.5 kilometers away from their prey. One of a polar bear's hunting strategies is to sit and wait by breathing holes that are made in the ice by seals. This family looks like they've been successful. The cubs would have learned a lot watching their mother in action. These older cubs are putting their swimming skills to the test this afternoon. Polar bears have no issue paddling for hours on end and have been tracked swimming distances of 60 kilometers in a single stretch. Back up on dry land, or ice, now that this mother's belly is full, she's more than happy to be the family's sofa again. But hey, no. In terms of architecture, there is a wide variety displayed throughout these icy neighbourhoods. Black-browed albatross, the smallest of their kind, create nests made from a delightful combination of mud and guano, reinforced with seaweed and grasses. A cosy home for their single precious chick. Even more cosy when Mom takes a seat. A Gentoo penguin nest might look like a pile of rocks, but it's so much more. While humans give flowers to their sweethearts, male Gentoos give pebbles to their special ladies. If the stone is deemed perfect, she'll add it to her nest. That's one rock-solid way to build a relationship and a family. At the opposite end of the globe, when it comes to prime real estate for puffins, this is it. Ocean views, plus a private underground burrow, and they've got it made. As an added bonus, each humble home is part of a down-to-earth apartment complex, making the whole colony one big happy family. As for polar bears, home is pretty much wherever they choose to roam. They will build a den if the weather gets really intense, but usually they make do with whatever patch of ice they end up on for the day. This afternoon, in a sunny, quiet patch of forest, something very special is unfolding. A moose calf has just been born. the largest members of the deer family, this little moose will eventually grow to weigh up to 600 kilograms. After a quick clean from mum, its first challenge is to get up on all fours. Time for a rest. While it has a second attempt to stand, it looks like its mother is going for round 2, giving birth to another calf. Females or cows can have twins when conditions are good. What an incredible sight. Watching 2 creatures come into the world. Snowy regions are filled with majestic creatures. One of them being the albatross. Let's take a look at the life cycle of these grand seabirds. Albatross only spend time on land to mate or raise their young. To house their single precious egg, they build a sturdy nest of seaweed and grasses, glued together with guano and mud. After 2 to 3 months, this chick is making a break for it. Look at that beak already. When the chick is about 3 weeks old, it's big enough to defend itself while waiting for its parents to return with food. Usually a regurgitated cocktail of fish, squid and krill. Albatross chicks take their time fledging, anything from 5 to 10 months. But when they do leave dry land, they don't return for 5 to 10 years, until they're ready to find a mate. While they're maturing, these seabirds spend their days fishing and cruising the ocean breezes, able to glide for hours thanks to their impressive wingspans that can stretch as far as 3.5 meters, the widest of any bird on the planet. These majestic birds can enjoy a long life, up to 50 years, floating out on the waves or soaring gracefully above them. Time to head to the Antarctic for some fun in the afternoon sun with the emperor penguins. That's one busy creche. The chicks start hanging out together in these nursery groups when they're about 7 weeks old, huddling together for warmth and protection. They might be small now, but they'll eventually grow to be over 1 meter tall. Emperors taking out the prize for being the world's largest penguin species. It's afternoon tea time and the mothers are on catering duty after being out at sea, stocking up on fishy baby food. Once the babies are fed, it's time for them to hitchhike, South Pole style. What a cool ride. It's an impressive balancing act, one these youngsters have been the stars of since they were eggs. The dads are in charge of egg care, and having no nesting supplies, they improvise, keeping the egg up off the ice, on their feet and under their warm brood pouch. 2 months later, the ladies finally return, allowing the hungry fathers to go fishing. Cooperation really is the key to surviving on this icy desert. Yes, their home is classed as a desert. Despite all that ice, it's one of the driest places on Earth, receiving next to no rainfall every year. Antarctica is also the coldest and windiest part of the planet. But that doesn't seem to faze these cool characters. They just take it in their stride. The afternoon is coming to a close. Time for these snow-dusted owls to think about starting their day. That is, if they can bear to leave the relative warmth of their comfy hollow. Enjoying the last rays, a fur seal contemplates heading out on a fishing trip. Meanwhile, this polar bear mom has done enough walking for one day. Facing one last hurdle, an emperor penguin chick is determined to reach higher ground. It'll have to go the long way around to huddle up with the rest of the colony as they brace for the bitterly cold evening ahead. It's the end of another long day in the ice and snow. And this family have found somewhere to curl up and call home for the night. Some Gentoo penguin chicks are getting ready to dive under the covers of their bed. That is, the feathers of their mom. A snow-tipped hug will send this baby off to sleep in no time. When you're as well insulated as these Weddell seals, having a bed made out of ice is no problem. But a nice rock will do, if you're a fur seal.